On June 29, 2011, the anti-gang unit of the Montreal Police Service's Organized Crime Division arrested 4 political activists, including Patrice Legrande, a communist worker and supporter of the Revolutionary Communist Party of Canada. The police searched their homes and arrested them in connection with the most recent May 1st demonstration organized by Montreal's anti-capitalist convergence. Nearly 30 officers were involved in the operation, which occurred early in the day. According to the investigator who headed the entire operation, 9 officers were injured, some seriously during an altercation at the May 1st demonstration. More on the demonstration is available in issue 3 of the communist newspaper Partisan. The 4 activists who were arrested were detained and then released on a promise to appear on July 13th at 9 a.m. at the courthouse in Montreal. They have been charged with a number of offenses, from assault with a weapon to assaulting an officer, obstruction of justice, and possession of a weapon with intent to cause harm. During the May 1st demonstrations in the streets of Montreal, which nearly 1,500 people were in attendance, the police provoked an altercation by trying to arrest, for reasons unknown, a militant who was widely known as a photographer for the Partisan newspaper. As one would expect, dozens of protesters responded by confronting the police, telling them to release the activists that they were trying to arrest. Obviously unprepared, the police chose to retreat. The operation on June 29 was clearly carried out with very little basis. The content of the interrogation to which the arrested activists were subjected to, as well as the presence of the investigator from the Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, suggests that there were other motives behind the operation. First, we can assume the arrests were motivated by revenge, as the police will always want to get back at those who caused them to suffer defeat. As was the case of the May 1st demonstrations, where demonstrators stopped them from arbitrarily and inexcusably arresting one of the activists involved. The cops had egg on their faces, and somebody needed to pay for that. Without any evidence to go on, the police decided to go after a few well-known activists, some of whom expressed their views openly. The demonstration was part of a pretext to criminalize political involvement and, what's more, the communist views they defend. Recall that in recent weeks, the RCP began publishing a bilingual bi-weekly newspaper, The Partisan, and has been distributing it in major cities in Ontario and Quebec. It has also started organizing workers in the Revolutionary Workers Movement. Its struggle against capitalism and exploitation is taking on new forms and is moving forward, and the police, we can assume, are not fond of that. Investigators also said they had begun monitoring Maison Norman Bethune, a bookstore run by the Information Bureau of the RCP Canada. The day after the May 1st demonstration, many activists frequent the bookstore, attending events and getting involved in the cause of revolution. It seems, although the police wanted to go on a fishing expedition to find somebody guilty of something so they could draw attention away from their own petty and provocative behavior at the May 1st demonstration. Further information collected by the RCP Information Bureau suggests that police who carried out these arrests tried to implicate the RCP and Patrice Legrande particularly in 3 previous incidents, including one that happened a year ago in Trois-Rivers, where an explosive device shattered the doors of a recruitment office for the Canadian Armed Forces. A group calling itself Resistance International claimed responsibility for this, and since it happened, the police have not solved the case. Curiously, the day after the arrests in Montreal, the Integrated National Security Enforcement Team installed a command post for 3 days in Trois-Rivers across from that recruiting office in order, they said, to collect new information and validate some leads described as very serious. The police then presented pictures of the 4 arrested activists, the people of Trois-Rivers, hoping somebody could implicate them in one way or another. The operation on June 29 was no accident. It comes at a time when the bourgeois state in Canada is on the offensive in criminalizing political struggle and activists who are involved in it. We need only look at the G20 summit in June 2010 in Toronto, where over 1,000 people were illegally arrested to verify this. In recent years, dozens of activists, among them from the RCP, have been harassed at home and work by the infamous Integrated National Security Enforcement Team. The Revolutionary Communist Party harshly condemns this cowardly operation, which was politically motivated. It is doomed to failure and will backfire on those who planned it. The RCP is actively campaigning to denounce the arrest and obtain a full and unconditional release of those arrested. They thank the many individuals and groups who have already expressed their outrage and solidarity following the June 29 arrests. And the Maoist Rebel News stands in solidarity with the Revolutionary Communist Party and stands in solidarity with those arrested by the bourgeois reactionary state.